Hello everybody, we're getting ready to do Algebra 1, 1.7, Part 1 of this, rules and tables. So let's get into it here. 1.7, represent functions as rules and tables. Part 1, here's our objective here. We got a 34-point skill sheet here for you to get. And we got a 15-point notebook guide for you as well. Teachers, here's your bell work. Let them read through this, handle this, and they might do better if they had part 2 and 3 of lessons, but let's see what they do here. Give them 5 minutes. Okay, welcome back everybody. Your solutions now for your bell work, which I provide courtesy of Rough Math. Here it is here, 3.5 centimeter cubed would be 42.875 centimeters cubed, because 3.5 has 2 significant digits. The product should be rounded to 2 significant digits. And the students, 3.5 here, should report the volume of the cube as a 43 cubic centimeters here, rounding up here. And then for number 2, Edmund, because milliliters are a smaller unit of measure than liters, his is the more precise measurement here. Milliliters over liters. Milliliters over liters. Okay, into our lesson here. 1.7 represents functions as tables. When you pump gas, total cost depends on number of gallons pumped. Total cost is a function of number of gallons pumped. A function consists of a set called domain, called inputs, and range, called the outputs. Pairing of inputs with outputs, such as each input is paired with exactly one output. Okay, students, in your own words, define function and define domain. Yes, do that. And define range as well, students. You can do that. Okay, so now into example 1. Identify the domain and range of the function input-output table, which is this here. Here's your input, here's your output. Shows the cost of various amounts of regular unleaded gas from the same pump. Identify the domain and range of the function. Well, let's see. Domain is a set of inputs. Here's your domain. This is your inputs, usually on the x-axis. And the range is a set of outputs here. This is your cost here. Usually the outputs put on your y-axis. That's a y-coordinate, x-coordinates, okay? Okay, guided practice here. Identify domain and range of the function. Here's your inputs and outputs. And students, this is you. You do this one here all by yourself. Okay, our guided practice here. Domain is a set of inputs. Here's your domain. Inputs, usually your x-axis here. And then your range is your outputs, 5, 2, 2, 2, and 1. That would be your outputs here on your y-axis. Okay. But we're not getting into graphing yet. We're getting into mapping diagrams. A function may be represented by a mapping diagram. Here's your inputs, usually your x coordinates, and here's your outputs here, usually your y coordinates. So notice that an output may be paired with more than one input, but no input is paired with more than one output. So here we have input here, but for 3 and 4 we have the same output here for 3 and 4. Okay. Example 2, identify a function. Tell whether the pairing is a function. So we have a different situation here, 0, 5, and 10. Then here's our output. Pairing is not a function because the output 0 has 2 outputs here. This input has 2 outputs. So when you have an input here, which do you get? Well, is it 2 or is it 3? It could be either one. So that's not really workable as a reliable method of investigation, so far as like input being a 0. And then again, for 0 here, on this situation here, the pairing is a function here. We have a different situation here with this table because each input is paired with exactly one output. So we have only one output per input here, not something like this. Okay, tell whether the pairing is a function. Students, this is you here. We're going to do this one up here. Okay, tell whether pairing is a function. So we have this situation. We have this table here, don't we? Okay, now look, pairing is a function because each input is paired with exactly one output. Now, if 6 had 2 and 6 also had 1, then it would not be a function. But 6 can have an output 2 and 9 can have an output 2, but 6 cannot have 2 and 1 as an output. That would not be a function. Part 1 of that lesson. If you want part 2, and I think there's a part 3, email me here. Thank you.